Aloha Hawaii, this is Pokalai Nui and you are listening to Hawaiian Potpourri on radio station KWAI 1080 on your AM dial. Welcome to the program or welcome back to the program. The time now is 37 minutes past the hour of 7 o'clock and today is the 5th day of August in the year 2012. We had been talking about some sort of excursions I've had with a group known as Teach for America. We've also talked about the ABC Triangle, some analytical approach to relationships or interrelationships that we have with others. And so that's been the general area of discussion more recently. Previous to that, we also talked about Hawaiian and what is a Hawaiian and what are our rights to self-determination. Our telephone number here is 524-1080, and if you would like to call and share an opinion, ask a question, you can give me a call at that number, 524-1080. Let's go to our telephone callers. Aloha caller, welcome to the program. Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, yesterday I brought up this article by Tom Kaufman, that I spotted in the Weekly.
Yes.
And I thought he really tied together well several things that have been happening here. The rail project, the whole PE development, and the departure of 4 of the cabinet members of Neil Abercrombie. Apparently, the departure of the 4 cabinet members from the Abercrombie administration had to do with the direction that they saw Abercrombie moving in. Abercrombie, he has a reputation that he came with, of being very progressive, sensitive to the environment, and people had certain expectations of him, and then, we see him do things like he was pushing for a measure that would exempt certain state projects from environmental review, and just, this is not the Abercrombie that campaigned for the office,
Okay.
Probably if he had let on that he was going to do this kind of thing, it may have been a lot closer election between him and Hanneman. One thing, So, as Kaufman wrote, these 4 cabinet members, most notably Andrew Aoki, they departed because they saw Abercrombie moving in a direction of embracing accelerated development rather than to pursue sustainability. And that he was doing so perhaps because of his fear of the fiscal situation of the state. And he saw how close to insolvency the state was, and that this really made him afraid, and so he was ready to embrace any and all development, and he was willing to compromise on, among other things, environmental review. And they just could not accept that. And so they left him. But we were told, well, because of personal reasons and, I
family matters.
That. I mean, to me, if Tom Kaufman can see this, how come the newspaper can't perceive this? You see? They just kind of dutifully report, what they are told, Oh, he's leaving for personal reasons, And, to me, they are not a watchdog the newspaper here, they are like, I would liken them to, let's say you have a dog at your house, right?
Mm.
And I come to your house to burglarize and to steal, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
And I come with snacks for your dog. So, I mean, burglars have done this. I've heard of this.
Yeah.
Come with snacks for your dog.
Mm. Mm.
And so now your dog, is very pleased, yeah?
Yeah.
He's content to enjoy the snacks that have been presented to him.
So he opens the door for the burglars too.
And you have co-opted him, yeah? And now, instead of doing his job, he's going to, take care of himself and allow you to do yours, yeah?
Mm.
And this is what they become.
Mm.
Yeah? They don't dig. They don't try to report things that would make waves. Yeah, they're happy to go along to get along.
Mm.
When they say that, when they endorse Caldwell for mayor because they say that he has a deeper understanding of the issues, do you think he really has a deeper understanding of the issues than, say, Cayetano, who has probably been around at it longer than he has?
Mm-hmm.
We have a deeper understanding of of who's pulling the strings and how much better it is to play along with them.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that's his deeper understanding, yeah?
Yeah.
Because Cayetano referred to in one of the forums,
Mm-hmm.
he referred to people who have their hands in everything here.
Yeah. People in power.
Too much control.
Yeah.
And he knows who some of these people are.
Mm-hmm.
Some of these people became his friends
Yeah.
while he was the governor. And so I think he has a deeper understanding.
Mm-hmm.
He has a deep understanding that the paper speaks of. Only his deeper understanding moves him in a different direction.
Yeah.
Mr. Caldwell does, yeah?
Yeah. And I think Cayetano would also place the paper as part of the people in power and subject to make a lot of money and have made a lot of money by the advertisements that have been going on.
Right.
Yeah.
One of the things I notice is the way they almost act like a cheerleader, for the armed forces here. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Every time you have a Navy ship arriving here, or every time you have a Army or Marine Corps unit returning, what do?
Yeah. You're right.
Coverage in there, yeah.
Yeah.
And they show the pictures of the loved ones reuniting, and it's, I suppose, the aim is to me, it's a form of conditioning, yeah?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Mind conditioning.
Yeah. Well, let's
I want
get...
you to feel, hey, those are our troops, the Hawaii troops.
Yeah. I believe that the papers are... just cheerleading for the majority or the people in power. I think Kaufman, and he was writing in the Honolulu Weekly rather than in the Star Advertiser.
Oh, yeah.
I think as an institution, the Weekly is based not necessarily on the factual reporting, but it's much more liberal in the ability to do the analysis and do the implications. So they can look at the facts and they can say, well, it's probably because of this, this, and that. Take, for example, Andrew Aoki. The only thing that Andrew was telling the press was that this was for personal reasons, family, his young children. He wanted to spend more time and the rest. So from a strictly reporter's point of view, it would not be appropriate to say, but Andrew is probably concerned about the environmental direction that the governor has taken, or is probably concerned about. I think for editorial comment, it's fair game to say those things, but not from a strictly reporter's position. I'm not saying necessarily that Star Advertiser is strictly reporter, because in the choices of who or what they're reporting on and how they twist the story, there's still a lot of editorializing going on there. The glorification of the military in Hawaii, the front page that talks about a new Air Force general leading and all that kind of stuff without asking the underlying question. But I'm not sure that the Star Advertiser would be the appropriate body to, in the same stories, also ask the underlying question. Of course, in the commentary or in the editorial pages, I think it's fair game to do that, yeah.
Right.
Yeah. We do have...
Hey, did you have another caller, Paul?
Yeah, we do have...
Move along here.
Okay. Thanks for your call and for all these interesting subjects that you raise.
Ahui ho, Paul.
Okay, ahui ho. And we go to our next caller. Our telephone number here is 524-1080. Aloha, caller. Welcome to the program. Hello, caller. You're on the air.
Hello.
Yes, you're on the air. Go ahead.
Hey, aloha.
Hey. Hi, aloha, Pilipo.
How you been, brother?
Fine, fine.
Good. Yeah, brother is talking about the cheerleading, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
I see the Kanai Olovalu is doing the same, yeah?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I caught the Olympics, I think it was Tuesday. And lo and behold, they also were part of the sponsoring, local sponsoring, yeah?
Throwing a lot of money in there, yeah?
Oh, they had Father Waihe'e, yeah? All with the young children, yeah,
Okay.
of Hawaii, and promoting the Native Hawaiian Role Commission, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
That's cheerleading too.
Yeah.
On it. It's amazing how...
And the thing is, in their advertising, there's very little content. There's no real discussion of the issues. It's, come on, gang, we're all Hawaiian. Let's go register. And
well, you know, Abercrombie's whole campaign, basically, for me, basically, I see two things, yeah. He was brought back here to protect Obama. And number two, his head of the Department of Tourism and Economic Development, this guy Richard Lim.
Lim, I think it is.
Yeah.
Okay.
He basically says that in Hawaii, we're sitting on a gold mine, which to me means everything goes as far as development is concerned to the max, especially on Oahu, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
So we can see this in conjunction with the rail, what is happening, the promotion that's going on, sustainability, crazy, you know? People think there's going to be sustainability. Anyway, my friend, it's always good to hear you on a Sunday morning.
Okay, thanks for your call.
Keep it going, keep healthy.
Thank you. Hi, aloha. And if you would like to call, our telephone number is 524-1080. We don't have too much time on the radio, about 5 more minutes. I wanted to bring to your attention a matter of deep concern to me, and that is what is happening in Syria. And that's another area in which we have the media not, I think, adequately reporting on the events in Syria. What we are being thrown are the views from the U.S. military and from the White House and the kind of regime change that they are attempting there, but we are not getting the full report as to other things that is going on. There's an article that appeared by Paul Craig Roberts in Transcend Media Service, and I don't know if we have enough time to go through all of this, but it's a very serious question, and the involvement of the CIA and the selling of weapons to the so-called rebels and instigating this so-called civil war in which the United States have been supplying arms or responsible for the supplying of arms. What they have done with Kofi Annan, they have not supported his plan. All of those things, if you do have the time, pay greater attention to it. Paul Craig Roberts, well, well, rather than reading that, let's go to our next caller, and then we'll see what more time we have left. Aloha, caller. Welcome to the program.
Hey, Poka.
Yes, hello.
Oh, I have a hard time hearing you.
Okay.
I have this buzz going on.
Yeah, I don't know where you're getting the buzz.
Actually, I can hear you on the telephone. I have to turn on the radio.
Okay, okay.
Okay, yeah, no. Okay. Oh, but now you hear that other...
Yeah, the feedback.
Oh, yeah.
Well, why don't you just turn it down while you speak, and then I'll either interrupt you or I'll cut you off. Go ahead.
Oh, well, actually, I already voted for the absentee ballot, on the absentee ballot, but I was kind of wondering how come there's no presidential candidates. This is kind of like the first time I'm voting in the primary. The last time I voted was in the general, which was the first time in a very long time. But this is like the very first time I ever voted in the primary. But shouldn't there be the presidential candidates for both Republican and Democrat? Would you know about it?
I don't know. I believe that the primary elections are done in their what do you call it? Within the Democratic Party itself. I believe some states may have a primary election, and they do. And of course, the candidates would have to register themselves and qualify in the primary, and the parties within those states would run their primary elections. I believe that's how they are conducted in that way. I don't know, and I haven't really been involved in the elective process more recently, so I don't have an answer for you.
Yeah, because I noticed that have both parties on the same ballot, but you got to choose one party in order to get your votes count or whatever. But you cannot vote both Republican and Democrat. If you do that, your vote's not going to count. So you got to choose what party you want to vote for in the primary, and it's kind of different than the 20 years ago when I used to vote in the primary, where you go to the booth and you ask them what party you want, and they give you, let's say if it's Democrat, they give you just the Democratic ballot.
Right.
You want Republican, they just give you the Republican. But this primary, it's a little bit different for me because they have both parties on the same ballot. So, it's kind of different. But I noticed there was no presidential candidates on it. There was the mayor's race, and you have the legislature, but no presidential candidates. So I was kind of wondering about that.
Yeah. No, I'm sorry. I cannot help you with the presidential candidate. Previously, what I had pushed for was an open primary rather than a closed primary. What we have in Hawaii is a closed primary where only you have to make your declaration whether you're a Democrat or you're a Republican, and then pick up only that ballot, or at least you're restricted only to voting for that party or the one that you have declared. My argument was that if that is the case, if the primary election was essentially a party election, then the party should pay for it. It should not be financed by the government, and let them go through whatever processes they wanted to go through to nominate their candidate for the general election. I was called at that time an anarchist. This was when I was with the Constitutional Convention of 1968, and a good friend. He subsequently became a very good friend of mine, and that was T.C. Yim, who had been in the state legislature, and he said, young man, you're an anarchist, to suggest that we should have an open primary. But I believe that that's how it should be, or else have the parties pay for it themselves. So that didn't fly. Hawaii always followed a closed primary form of nomination or a primary election, which is really a nomination process by the parties. to run in the general election. So in the
well, it was, I guess maybe disappointing when I didn't see the presidential candidates on it.
yeah, the presidential candidates are nominated in.
Wait, you breaking up? Wait.
Okay.
Get up there.
Okay, thanks for your call. And I was going to say that the presidential candidates are nominated in the conventions, the Democratic or Republican Party conventions. The election of the nominee in the state is held in Hawaii by the state Republican committee and Democrat committee, and then they hold their, what is that, their Black Tuesdays, some process within the state parties, and then they elect the delegates who will carry that vote and cast it at the nominating convention, the Republican or Democratic convention. And that's why when you hear the conventions are being called and the states are being called, either they are locked into the results of their election held within the state, or either public elections or these private nominating processes. So that's why you don't find it on the Hawaii ballot for voting in the nominating process. Okay, the time now is 58 minutes after the hour of 7 o'clock. I'm going to have to run out of here. I want to thank all of you for joining me.
Kaulana nā pua o Hawaii, Kupa'a mahope o ka aina, Iki mai ka elele o ka loko ino, Pala pala anunu me ka paka. Mane mai Hawaii moku o ke ave, Koku ana honoa o Pi'ilani, Ka ko'o mai kaua I o mano, Pa'aku me ke one o ka kuhi hewa. Aolea e kau I ka pulima, Maluna o ka pepa o ka enemi, Po'ohui ai nā ku ai hewa, I ka pono sibila a o ke kanaka. Aole makoa e mina, I ka pu'u kala o ke au puni, Ua lava mai